Good afternoon, it's the 2nd of June and as promised I've come back with another video, and this one is going to take us down the driveway and back up because I want to show you just how really abundant and prolific everything is. But it's also to make a little statement because I do think that time is closing in on us as regards the problems that surround us. And I mean the problems that surround us, the human race. I'm not going to talk about Mother Earth. She's going to be here long after we've gone, if we do go, and that's very much down to us. If you don't want to hear any of this, you can always turn the sound off and just enjoy the walk, alright? I know that sometimes it's kind of difficult to listen to what can be, but I promise you it's not going to be on this video, but what can be a rather negative look at the situation that we find ourselves in. There's a lawnmower down there, somewhere down beyond all my trees, my beautiful, beautiful trees. Oh, and I will tell you what this is for, but not just yet, she says rather naughtily. Okay. Over the past 24 hours, there's been a big hoo-ha all over the internet about Trump and his very predictable response to the Paris Accord. I mean, I'm not surprised, are you? But I want to take it beyond Trump. I want to open this up to what I would call reality, okay? Paris and the Paris Accord or the Paris Agreement, although it's mooted as saving the planet, could not be further from the truth. It is absolutely not about saving the planet. That's ridiculous. That is actually quite ridiculous. It's about saving one species of all the tens of thousands of species on this planet. It's about saving one species, and that is the species that hates Mother Earth. That hates Mother Earth to the extent that they will look skywards towards an invisible God. They'll look downwards towards an invisible hell. They'll talk about the sanctity of life, and yet they appear to hate Mother Earth. So what do we do? What is a sensible response? Well, as I've said before, there isn't one of us with supernatural powers that can solve the problems in one fell swoop. What we have are somewhere in the region of about 7 billion people. The one species, you know. And out of that 7 billion people, I'd say there's a very good proportion of them that have a deep reverence for Mother Earth and that try in their own way, our own way, to show her respect. Isn't this the bottom line? Respect? Isn't that what we show to the mother? Respect? So all these politicians need to get their heads out of those buckets filled with sand and actually start telling the truth. Just tell the truth. It's not difficult. You know, the truth is a very good starting point. And in many ways the truth does set us free. So just tell the truth and say, actually this isn't about us, you know. This isn't about us. This is about recognising that the earth is our mother and we've caused a huge amount of damage and we've just got to try as best we can to leave the earth in as good a state as we possibly can. That there will be something here for future generations. That we hope and we act with the view that there will be future generations. I love Mother Earth. I don't ever want to leave her. The thought of our race evacuating Mother Earth and going off to Mars is quite simply ridiculous. Even if it was possible, it's not something that anyone with any soul, with any feeling, with any love or passion would want to do. Maybe we could post off a few robots to Mars. They may even do a far better job than what we could possibly do. So again, you know, we need to lose the arrogance and hubris and start thinking in terms of trying to clean up our mess, trying to plant a bit of resilience, trying to embrace as many species as we can, I'm just trying, I suppose. I've just got to call Jack in. Jack, come here. He's been a bit naughty down there. He thinks he can go car chasing up that driveway. Come on. Do you know, I might just go for a short walk just around the pond here. I can't go into the woodland because I've got silly sandals on. And they are very silly sandals because the soles of them seem to seep up any water. Oh, foolish, foolish people. Foolish, foolish men in charge. Foolish men in charge. Men in suits. Arrogant. Some women as well. Dressed up in suits to make them look important. Because after all, if someone's wearing a suit and a Rolex watch, we're going to take them seriously, aren't we? That's how we've been brainwashed. Oh. Anyway, look at all this beautiful greenery and listen to the birds. Jack? Oh look, there's that little flower, it's called ragwort, isn't that beautiful? That's just come out. Jack? Come on. Jack's got all excited because he hears the lawnmower next door. And he knows a little spot in the fence where he can sneak through and be sociable. But I'm quite sure that my neighbour on the lawnmower will be a little bit cross because that's going to cause distraction to them. You understand why I call the earth sacred, don't you? You look at this beautiful earth. You look at this beautiful, beautiful earth that has grown out of a rushy monoculture land. And all the different species on it, some of which I've planted, some of which I haven't. And there is this exquisite beauty and this soulful serenity and this joy, this green energy. Just breathe deeply. Oh, it's just so healing. It's so healing. And you know why it's healing? Because through all these beautiful, beautiful plants, she's healing herself. You see? When you look down at this beautiful soil that she's creating, that she's patiently creating, season after season, you know that she's healing herself. And it hasn't taken a lot. I know I've been here 13 years, but the real work took place over the first 4 or 5 years. Come on, Jack, you know you can't go out on the road. You're just trying it on, aren't you? Look at that big jolly head on you. So we walk back in here. Oh, do you know my shoulders just drop when I come in amongst the trees? I just feel so, you know, relaxed and very, very contented. It's Jack eating some grass. He knows exactly the kind of grass to go for. A clever animal. If only we were so clever. It's beautiful. The video I put up this morning, I said, quite seriously I said, Plant like your life depends upon it, for it does. It really does. Stop trying to control her, just plant her. You know, it can be one of two things. The future. The future can be one of two things. It can be a really rough and uncomfortable ride into a future that is very uncertain. Or it can be this. It can be this. Plant. Plant like your life depends upon it, for it does. My one last tiny little bit of lawn. I'll walk down through the fairy wood. I'm laughing now because some of the comments that I felt quite cross about referred to me living in a kind of a fairyland, you know, as though I wasn't living in the real world. This is quite real, I can assure you. This is quite real. This is quite real. And those arrogant people who say, I don't believe in fairies, she's talking nonsense, this is all ridiculous. They probably spend too much time indoors, sat at their computers, being cross with everyone. I call this the fairy wood, again as a mark of reverence for Mother Earth. Because there are many unseen elements at work. I know enough about quantum physics to know that. And if anybody wants to look into a more magical form of quantum physics, can be described as magical, I suggest you Google quantum entanglement. Now there's something worth finding out a little bit about. And all the time, just drop the arrogance, because we are on the cusp. We kind of stand at the crossroads of either getting it, getting all this, or perhaps becoming extinct. We can no longer live in denial. Denial is a very energy-less, devoid of energy place. It's a bit of a dead end. Come on then. Come on. Oh, it's gone full circle. So, it is not about saving the planet, because if she can come back like this after a few years of planting and nurturing, I'm quite sure she can do it on her own, regardless of what we throw at her. And we've thrown quite a lot already, and no doubt there'll be more. Because you cannot take mankind and arrogance and hubris and separate them. Because even all those involved in the Paris Accord hasn't stopped them warmongering. And warmongering does a huge amount of damage to Mother Earth. And I'm quite sure contributes hugely to global warming.